Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, thanks for joining. I'm here to kind of give you guys a once-over on remote learning at Central Junior High and Google Classroom, which is the platform we're going to be using to do our learning. So if you have not looked on our website yet, we have posted kind of the expectations for remote learning with a couple of things I want to show off. One of the first things you'll see is our Google Classroom help desk. Which is simply looks like this. Now, it doesn't look like much, but we anticipate it growing as we go because there'll be more complex questions that get asked and more problem solving that we have to do. But simply put, the first kind of starter activities, we've got a couple of YouTube videos lined up for that. YouTube is a great place to find Google Classroom help, and the videos are short and sometimes they're a little longer if you really need a lot of help, but they're very, very good. Also, if you need assistance tech-wise, you can get in touch with Mrs. Knox, who is our tech coordinator, or myself, and the links to email to them. But I anticipate this growing a little bit as we get into this because things will just be different as we go and our needs will change a little bit. So be on the lookout or use that if you need it. It's at the very top of our website. So recently we posted kind of what the remote learning expectations would be. One thing that's super critical is attendance, so make sure that when they log in each day that they have visited every single classroom because they will have an attendance question. So if you are an 8th grader, you know what a POD is, which is something that teachers do in about every classroom to kind of get classes started. They're going to do those same things except for remote learning. So 7th graders that maybe don't know what that is, it's just a simple brain Kickstarter to get you going for the lesson for that day. So make sure that you answer that question and turn it in as it needs to be because that's how they're going to check for attendance. That'll be in addition to any assignment that you have. So our learning materials, we are going paperless for this. So teachers will be putting on all kinds of different multimedia. It may be links to internet sites. It might be PDFs to read. It might be a video. It might be a slides presentation that they give. It could be in a lot of different variations of things, but basically that's how they're going to give new content. So that way they're on there, they're archived, you can go back and watch those as much as you need to. So please make sure that you have earphones and something you make sure you can play video well on because that's what we'll be using. Assignments and grades kind of go hand in hand. So essentially, you need to try as hard as you can, and if you're struggling, please reach out. We're going to be reaching out to you as much as possible, but we also need you to reach back too. See, last year when this was an emergency situation, you know, we did things, and you know, basically, if you completed and tried hard, you know, you got a P for pass. This time we're playing for real grades on the real grading scale. So these are report cards that we're putting letters on now. So please try your best. And if you're struggling, please make sure that you reach out to me or any of your teachers. We're going to make sure that you get help that you need. Important note for parents, though, make sure that when you want to know how your kids are doing with their grades, check Parent Portal. The Google Classroom grades are basically for feedback. They're not their actual percentage grade. The reason why that is we have categories that are weighted. So like homework's 15%, tests might be 40%, right? So because those are weighted, it makes the grade change. So you may very well see a B in Google Classroom, but maybe it's a C on your report card. So if there's a difference, know that's why it is. So we don't have a super complicated schedule for each day because we try to be as flexible as we can. We know our family situations are all very different. You know, and some kids can get on when others can't. So we didn't really want to create any conflicts for you. So what we have on each day, and if you look at Monday where it says 8th grade Google Meet session scheduled at various times by the teacher. So they're going to tell you what times those are. But basically, we don't want to put kids in a position where they've got to choose which one to go to. So those are wide open, and the times are scheduled cooperatively, so a student can see all of their teachers that day for help. Now, these are not live instructional sessions. These are live dialogue sessions. So if they need help, they have questions, they can get in there. Lesson presentation is going to be done inside those assignments in multimedia. So they do not have to check in at an exact specific time. to get get help on an assignment or to get the lesson. So those will be archived so they can go back and forth to them. So so we've got those spread out and scheduled. Now those are carved out, and those are the ones we promised to you, but that doesn't mean that those are the only times you can connect with your teacher. You can connect anytime you want. Now, obviously that's not 10 o'clock at night, right? But during the school day, you can get with your teachers by phone, by email, through Google Classroom messaging, any way that you can make it work, you can. And if you can't, you just get a hold of me. But the goal is to make this manageable for our kids and the families, but also not to lose any instruction that needs to take place in these first 3 weeks. So when we do get the opportunity to come back on campus and actually go to school, we don't want that to be something where we're starting over again. We want to basically step out of one setting and into another. So classroom materials and things like that that they're using are basically adaptations of what they actually do in class. Because our goal is, again, to not have any gaps when we come back. So let's take a look real quick at Google Classroom. So here's the easiest way to do this is we go to google.com, kids, and you click the waffle iron, and you're going to see the different Google apps up here, Google Classrooms right there. So I've already clicked there. You're going to see 8 of these little squares, okay, on your screen for all your classes. So one of those is going to be my class, except it's not really a class, okay? It's just for announcements and special information and things like that. So that's what mine's for. Your teachers, hours 2nd through 8th, excuse me, no first hour, because we're going to skip exploratories until we come back in person. So on your schedule, it'll be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th hour. So you'll have 7 of those and then 1 of mine. So when you go into your classrooms, now, like I said, there's this really nice, convenient to-do button here that would tell you everything that you have to do. But remember, I want you to go into your classroom. There's a big reason for that, and that reason is we want to make sure that you see your teacher's stream. Okay, so notice I'm in Mrs. Knox's class, and notice she says, welcome to the class. That was on August 10th. She made an assignment that day. She's given me an assignment today, it looks like. But these are the places where she's going to share classroom-specific information, okay, not just assignments. So just like she posted her welcome, there might be other things that she might post on there. So if, let's say, 3rd hour didn't do well on a quiz, she may say, hey, I'm having a Google Meets at such and such time. We need to go over that quiz. Please join me so we can figure out what went wrong, right? So those are the things that you're going to see on that stream. That's why you should go there. So classwork is what it sounds, okay? So here's one that had already been assigned. This is the one that was assigned to me today. And then this people tab is all the people in your class. So right now, me and Mr. Wright are the only ones in this class. But if I needed to email Mr. Wright, maybe to help with a collaborative project or something, I get a nice little new tab, and I can email Mr. Wright. So let's go back to our stream. So this is where you're going to find stuff. So notice we've got this nice little upcoming thing. The reason why it says no work due soon, because I don't think she put a deadline on this one, okay? But deadlines essentially are going to be at 10 o'clock at night. That way our students have the whole day and you know, keeping with that flexibility. So, but 10 o'clock usually will be the typical time at the end of the day. So a couple things I want to show you. So first, this one has already been assigned. I messed around, didn't do it, turned it in late. Okay, it was as in there was missing, right? So I kind of messed up and forgot. So that's okay. Maybe she'll have mercy on me, right? And let me turn it in late. If not, she doesn't. But you know, in this one, she gave me a PDF to fill in the answers. I should know all of these answers, right? I mean, that makes sense. This was an easy one. But the problem is I couldn't type into that format for where I'm at. So I messaged her privately and said, I can't type into this PDF. Can I just send my answers in a Google Doc? And she said, okay, I'll fix it. Of course you can send via Google Docs, right? So, so that's what that function is for those very me-specific questions to the teacher only about your work, okay? So like I said, I messed up. I didn't do that when it went in missing. This morning I tried to submit it, and maybe she'll let me get a pass on that, but that's up to her, right? So let's go to today's assignment, okay? And it looks like it's 100 points. It's a Google form. It looks like 7th grade test. I I'm going to be honest with you. I asked her to send me one. She sent me something from her class, so hopefully I do well, right? But notice it still says assigned. Okay, so let's click the assignment and let's see. I'm just going to do this live with you guys in here right now, so we'll see how it goes. I obviously did not read this, so I have no idea what the answers are. So we'll click and answer. By no means do I want you to do this on your real assignments, okay? Read the material, do everything the way it's supposed to be done, okay? So, yes, and then we'll hit next. Notice it's got a little status at the bottom, right? Page 2 of 4. So vocabulary development, I might be able to get this one, right? Let's see, conviction, certainty, belief, maybe, lingered. This is probably asked in kind of the context of the book. So hopefully I get these words right? Okay, so which of Teresa's character traits? Like I said, you know, sorry, Mrs. Knox, I hope I do well. I'm not real confident because I'm not in this class and I didn't read the material. But you guys will do something different, okay? So, so notice that she gave instructions on this one, so please reply with at least 3 complete sentences, okay? So, you know, we're gonna, you know, don't do this. I'm gonna kind of play with Mrs. Knox a little bit and say, I didn't read this, right? But don't do that, you'll get me in trouble, okay? So sorry I didn't do well on that. I'm gonna hit submit, okay? So response submitted and assignment marked as done, okay? So we're gonna go back to our Google Classroom, okay? So, whoops. All right, so notice it says that it's turned in, right? She's got it marked where I can take it out. Now, earlier I had to ask, this is another one of those private comments, so please use this function, okay? So it was in lock mode and I couldn't get into it, okay? But now it's not. So because there was a written piece to that assignment, she's not going to give that back to me right away. So one of the cool things with Google Classroom is when you do those assignments and forms, that it will tell you which ones are right, which ones are wrong as you go, and that make you feel good, you know, because you get feedback right away. But if there's something that has a writing piece to it, the teachers are going to want to see that and read it before they send it back. So now that I've turned that in, I just basically wait until she returns it with a grade, okay? So that's the thing I can't show you, right? Because I can't show you grades because there's no tab, because there's no work there, right? Or there's no graded work, okay? So we've got all this turned in. If I went to, where it says view your work, okay? So turned in, oopsie, turned in late, okay? But I can look at her class, and right now I've got everything done for her class, okay? So we're living good. So you're gonna do that for each class each day, okay? So granted, you won't have basically an assignment to turn in every day. Sometimes it might be a reading passage, or continued work on yesterday's work, okay? But you're going to have something, at least the attendance question every day. So please make sure that you log into your classes to do the attendance question, and then make sure you're looking at each class. Don't just do the to-do list. A lot of people might want to do that because it's just an easy way to organize. I get it, but you're going to miss some things in the stream. So make sure that you actually go to each class. So I hope this just kind of gave you a quick once over. You know, it seems easier than it is. The kids mostly know how to do this thing already, but parents, I know you need to kind of see what it looked like. So that was the point of doing these. So if you joined us this week for any of these that we did live, I really do appreciate it. And if there's any way we can help you, let us know. We've worked really hard this week to get this ready for Monday morning, and I think we've done a good job. So if there's any way that we can give feedback or to your kids better, just let us know what we're doing well and what we're not doing well, and we're going to make it work as we go. So and of course, if you ever need me, feel free to email me at ccass@wfschools.org, or you can call the office at 618-937-2444 and ask to talk to me, and we'll get you straightened out. So thanks again for watching, and we're excited for Monday to have our kids back, even if it is virtually. So we're looking forward to get started. Have a good day.